Welcome back to Ask the Attorney. We're here with Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm in Clarksville. Already answered a bunch of questions.
Amy.
We got more. All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
We've got Colette here. Hi, Colette. Are you with us, Colette? All right, we will try her back in a few minutes. Let's go to Dan. Hi, Dan. Dan, are you with us?
No.
Dan? All right, let's try Dan back in a few minutes too. We're having some technical problems. Got Maureen. Hi, Maureen.
Yes. Mr. Kennedy, when I was talking to you a few minutes ago about my daughter went to court instead of my grandson.
Yes.
It was in probate court, and actually what happened was the judge asked her was that his biological father who had died.
Yes.
And she said no. And then that made him unable to get his share of the inheritance.
Yes, ma'am.
My thing is, his father signed that birth certificate not only once, but twice. And the son is, I think he may be 30 years old now. I used to see his father all the time. So I just felt like if he didn't want to be his father, he would have done something about it. Years. I mean, he wouldn't have waited to 30 years, and he still didn't do anything about it. And then my thing was, they cut him out, and they tell me too late that he could have appealed.
Yes.
Now I think that now the settlement is in, the house is sold, and they've gone back to court. Nobody has notified this part of what was going on, so he never did know. My grandson didn't know about anything going to court or any of that. It was just like he would call the person who was over it. I can't think of his name.
Well, you're going to have to always present your case at the trial. Then if it's ruled against you, then you have to appeal. That's going to be standard. You can appeal anything just about.
You've got a time limit to do that. So
right. In Tennessee, usually it's 30 days in the circuit court or the probate court. Now, one of the other points is there's testimony that said he is not the father. There is evidence with that documentation he signed that birth certificate. The judge can weigh that evidence and he can rule. We had a case recently where they said the father had died and the family knew this other child was out here and said, we want to cremate the father right away. Why? Because we have DNA now, and so we were able to get a sample of the DNA, and it proved conclusively 99.9% that he in fact really was the father. So we've got a lot of tools now that others didn't have.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we've got Don here. I think we've got him back.
Okay, Don.
Hi, Don.
Hey.
Hey, how can we help you tonight?
Okay, I got a question. I'm having a problem here in Nashville finding a estate or will lawyer. Can you tell me why they don't want to make a will out? Is it just not enough money involved?
Well, that seems odd. There's lots of people
There's lots of lawyers that do nothing but probate and wills, and so you might even try to look on the Yellow Pages. There's lots of lawyers. Just look through there and see who's advertising the wills. That's an easy way to sometimes do it. And then if you can't get your results there, then call the Nashville Bar Association, and they'll have a whole host of lawyers that would love to do that probably.
Yep, and we'll put both of our information on the screen afterwards, and I think both firms do.
Yeah,
you guys do wills
absolutely.
too, right? Yep. All right. I think almost everybody does. So we've got Mary, I believe. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Hi. How can we help you?
Well, I have a question for the attorney.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, there was a new law made in Tennessee state legislature. I want to know if it applies to everyone over drugs. Okay, if you're on nerve pills and pain pills, does everyone have to go to a mental health clinic and a drug place where you go
halfway house?
drugs? is it just for TennCare patients, or is it for all patients?
Okay.
Sounds like this may be a question where you got to look at the legislation.
Right,
I'm not
and here's
familiar
what
with
I'd always say too. You go to your doctor, if they prescribe you medication and that medication is approved at the pharmacy, that's what you're going to get. Whatever they prescribe, they're going to give that to you. And I don't really see that as a major problem. If there's someone trying to add some additional things on you, then you need to try to find out what the copy of that bill is, and then you can read it or try to call a lawyer and he'll help you interpret that.
All right, we've got Miles here. Hi, Miles.
Yes.
How can we help you tonight?
Yes, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, I work for this company, right? And it's like a point system. I started working in October. February, I was hired in.
Okay.
Okay. So they go by a point system, like a half a point if you're late. You know, they show you, they give you a paper set.
Right.
And a point. So me and the supervisor got mad at me because I asked him, could I have some help when I was a stacker.
Right.
I was stacking box up. So he said something to me. He got real smart with me. So I went to H&R on him, and I told him about the problem that I had with the supervisor.
Yep.
So when I got back from my lunch, but I did this on my lunch break. So when I got back, he said, "Oh, you was late for my lunch break." I said, "No, I wasn't." So then he said, "Okay, well, we'll take care of it by the end of the day." So by the end of the day, he told me that I need to hand in my badge. So I handed my badge. I'm like, "Why?" He said, "They're doing an investigation." I'm like, "What kind of investigation?" He never said. So 2 weeks later, they sent me a paper, said that it was a no call, no show. Then when I called up there to H&R, they said that I had pointed out. But they never gave me no paper saying that how many, you know, like I said, they're supposed to give you a paper saying you pointed, you got a half a point here, you got a point here, knowing that, you know, they're showing that how many points you got before you point out.
What can he do? Because it seems like maybe he didn't get due process.
Right, and what you can do is file a complaint with the EEOC. We have the Equal Opportunity Employer, and they have rules that they have to go by. You can file a complaint with them. Didn't say it was going to get you your job back. Didn't say it's going to get you any money. Could get the company in trouble. And then you can also file a complaint with the Tennessee Department of Labor. You cannot be used. You cannot be abused. And that's one of the things that you try to keep your documentation alive. And if you're going to you know, some companies now won't let you bring your phone in because they don't want you videoing or taping or whatever inside the workplace. But if you were allowed, you could hit your time clock when you go back, take a picture of it. You got some documentation. They say, you weren't here on time. Say, no, here's a picture of my clock, pull my records. And you're protecting yourself. If you get to that zone and you know that they're that aggravating, that bullying, I'd be trying to get a new job and get away from those guys, because somewhere they're going to try to hoodoo you.
Yeah, and that point system seems a little odd too.
Well, you know,
like
it is what it is.
my child's school.
They're going to drive them, absolutely.
All right, we've got John here, and we just have a minute, so we'll hopefully be able to answer you quickly. John, hi, John.
Hi. First of all, just thank you so much for taking my call.
Yes,
You're welcome.
thank you for calling. Go ahead, John.
Well, my question is, I live in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. I'm actually a business professional. Me and my friends, they own a business downtown. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. I'm sure it's in Clarksville and everywhere, but there has been, such a large people being addicted to drugs and epidemic, especially when it comes to opiates. Well, we were given an opportunity by a doctor's office to open a clinic, for counseling.
Yes.
Drug counseling, and they were also going to do Suboxone.
All right, and John, I'm sorry to cut you off for just a second. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll get to you during the break.